What is happening, everybody? Kyle here for episode number 43 of the Kyle Peterson Show. And as usual, got my co-host here, a girl that just walked in the room and it got 10 degrees warmer, Angie. Angie, say hello.
Hello.
Great to have you back here again. I haven't seen you in like 10 minutes. That's what I'm saying right here. But Angie, are you ready for episode number 43?
You've been hiding in the basement all day.
No, I have not been.
And in your office.
Yeah, my office all day. You don't even know. You weren't even home. I have had a day, and most people wouldn't put up with days like I've had, where you had to, we're going to get into a lot of this stuff, but I got home late last night, had to do a little bit of a presentation, last minute presentation, worked on that last night, got it done, got to my computer at 7 a.m. this morning, saw, oh, sorry about that, we need to do a different presentation, and oh, by the way, Kyle, we want you to present it at 9:30 today. So that was a lot of fun, scrambling to get all that kind of stuff done. I did do all that, and then I had to run an errand to the store real quick right after I got done with that. Then I had 2 hours of conference calls, and then I had to do a bunch of emails, and then I had a bunch of phone calls. I'm going to my whole day here. You guys are getting all the riveting details. I'm shot out of a cannon. I'm 3 monsters deep today, Angie. 3 monsters deep. Had a bunch of calls and stuff. Then I said, okay, I got about an hour. I got to film the toy news. And then I had another call, and then I had to film weekly purchases. And now that leads us to right here, Angie, where we're filming the podcast a day later than normal because of said work schedule we're going to talk about here.
At dinner time.
At dinner time. So then we're going to eat dinner, and then I'm going to do a Herman Munster unboxing. And then, Angie, I got a hot date with the couch, and I'm going to dive into a bunch of reviews and stuff and editing and all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to stay up till about 2, maybe 2:30 in the morning. Then I'm going to get up at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, and then I'm going to work for about 2 hours on my job, and then I'm going to do about 20 reviews. Then I'm going to go to dinner. Apparently, we're going to be going to Chili's tomorrow. Is that true?
Yeah, I think so.
We're going to Chili's. There's some kind of something.
Triple dipper.
There's something that somebody can't. Is it the kids?
The kids want it.
It's you. I know it is.
We tried it that one time when we went.
I don't remember. It's all. Running to Chili's tomorrow.
The long cheese pull.
Then I got about 20 reviews to do tomorrow night.
No.
And then Sunday, I got to get up early Monday. And then I got a bunch of work to do. But guess what? Martin Luther King's birthday this Monday. I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating. I said I'm off on Monday. We're supposed to be off. I'm taking the day off. And I'm going to try to sleep into like 8:30. That's my goal. And we'll see what happens. But I'm going to celebrate Martin's Day for at least half a day. I'm going to do some service, maybe some worship. I don't know what I'm going to be up to. So anyways, now I'm shot off a cannon here. But Angie, once again, good to have you here. And I should shout out the sponsor of the podcast. There's our good friends over there, DJC Collectibles. Use discount code 8OFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order. Got to get a deal out there, Angie. We know how it goes by now. And I should also plug the Patreon. Patreon, your best way to support the channel for Angie and I. I don't know, Angie, I share a lot of money with you, I know. So it does support us both at the end of the day. But anyways, Patreon this month, Peacemaker is the giveaway, DC McFarlane Collector's Edition. That is your traditional giveaway. Anyone that signs up for the Patreon, free or paid, is in for the Jazzwares Vault exclusive Briscoe Brothers. Both of those will be available to somebody to win. We will do a video on that on the Patreon, so you'll have to check out that video. Angie will be there to pull the name out of the hat. We'll see what happens with that. But in a plot twist, Angie, another giveaway. Of course, I got a bunch of stuff from our friend Todd McFarlane on the couch in the basement right now taking a siesta. Angie, he sent me a bunch of free figures, like 3 huge boxes of figures. Now, I had 99% of those figures, and I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it away to the audience between Instagram, Patreon, podcast, weekly purchases, all points in between. We're giving away, doing a giveaway right now this week. As you're watching this, it will be announced the winner in weekly purchases. So check out that. Superman and Bizarro DC McFarlane figures. All you got to do is follow me on the X, of course, the former Twitter. SirPaul64 is where I'm at. Follow me on that. Post a picture that you're following my second YouTube channel. Not the big one, the little one, Angie. Make sure you follow the rules.
It's a baby.
Angie, do you have an X account?
No.
Do you have a XXX account?
No.
Do you have an OnlyFans account?
No.
Do you have a Patreon account?
No.
Do you have a bank account?
Yes.
Do you have a Sephora account?
Yes.
Do you have a Target account?
Yes.
A Kohl's account?
Yes.
An Amazon account?
You do.
I do, that's true. A JCPenney's account. That's the deep cut. Is JCPenney still in business?
I don't know. I haven't gone there forever.
I don't know. You got an account, though. We saw something the other day.
Well, you get a bill every time.
Do you have a Lowe's account?
Yes.
A furniture store account? Mm-hmm. Angie's got all the accounts, ladies and gentlemen. She's just rocking it up. Do you pay all the bills on these accounts? Oh, we just
that's
like
why my credit score is so good.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Because you pay them all.
You open them all and you pay them right off.
You pay them off.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Ah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But Angie, anything else that I missed here in this Patreon giveaway? Check it out. If you want to win that, head over to X, follow me. Make sure you're subscribed to the second YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on X as well. Post it in there. You guys know how to do it. A lot of giveaways going on. Angie doesn't apparently. She's wanted to stay out of all of it, and she's smarter that way. You know, a low-stress lifestyle is the way. It's the yin and yang of stress and day-to-day activities is what this is. And Angie living that sweet life. Like a young Zach and Cody is what it reminds me of right there. But Angie, we are filming late today, and somebody in the comments last week of the podcast said, maybe you guys should film later all the time because Angie has got a little bit more zip in her.
I'm so tired right now, but I felt more awake than normal. I get a second wind after I get the kids from school.
You get a second wind when you see my pretty face and you see me all fired up. 3 monsters deep. Yes, 3 monsters deep. Oh, that's dangerous. You shouldn't drink that many. I don't recommend it. But
R.I.P. you.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. But we're filming late after a long day in the old salt mines here. We're going to get more into the deeper dive on our experience this week. It was Bring Your Wife to Work week, apparently. And Angie came with me, and it was dare I say, a gay old time. That's what it was, like a young Flintstones once upon a time. But Angie, besides all that, besides the work, did you do anything exciting? Is there anything that you want to share this week that you had fun? What?
I got nothing.
I was going to say, I hit a deer or something.
Whenever you put me on the spot and I have my brains just fog.
You know you prepared all this in the notes. You've read through these notes, you made corrections, or you just sat down and said, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I just show up.
Yeah. So you didn't do anything of excitement this week? Did you have any fun encounters with a barista at Starbucks? Did you?
I got nothing.
She's got nothing. You live you need a journal. Nothing. Like I don't know. Okay. She's got nothing, folks. She's got nothing. She brought nothing to the table right here. Did you have a good meal this week?
What did we eat?
I'm asking you. I don't know what you ate. I wasn't with you. The
second something happens, poof, it's gone.
It is gone. You know, Angie eats like Angie goes to like a fancy steakhouse. She eats like a.
Oh yeah, were you leading me into this?
No,
talking about my meal.
Not last night. We're talking about that later. But
I did have a delicious steak last night.
We're gonna talk about that later. I was hoping about something else this week that maybe you did. No. She did nothing. She did nothing this week. You did nothing. I could tell you. I could literally talk 10 hours about my week so far, and I think we're 2 days in. I don't even know what day it is. What is time once again?
Your
fired
brain.
up.
I'd be in the grave if I had your brain.
Well, Angie, this week I decided to dive in as I've been watching a lot of Fulchi movies this week. You know about Fulchi?
Yes.
Yeah, we know. Angie doesn't want to watch any of
them. I've been skipping out on our couch time lately. You've been watching a lot. Deep diving into lots.
No. I've been starting these movies at like 10 o'clock. By then, you're an hour and a half in your slumber. Okay. And last night was extra frustrating because I had to get up extra early today to do my project and all that. And our dog Lemmy, he literally pooped his pants. He pooped his pants at 11:30 at night. And let the dogs in, and they scurry. They scurry by my feet, and all of a sudden he drops some hot feces in my feet, and it just soaps through my toes and everything. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me! I'm like, let me, and he runs all the way upstairs. Luckily, you had the door shut to the bedroom because he would have just ran and jumped into the bed. Thankfully, he didn't do that. He ran and was hiding at the top of the stairs. And I'm like, Lemmy, I'm yelling for him. I'm cleaning up my toe tobacco. This is really going off the rails. Run up there, and then I'm like, Lemmy, what are you doing? He's looking at me like, oh, sorry about that. You know, I couldn't make it. Couldn't make it. God. But he's a corgi poo, and he's got one of those butts, no tails, anything like that. But the whole back and down into his toes, everything just pure. Just pure. And I'm throwing him in the bathtub, and I got the water in the cup.
How did I not wake up?
Oh, and I'm scrubbing. I'm getting deep in there. I should have woke you up. I said, hey, I got a presentation at 7 a.m. Can you do this? And God. I was tired. I had a long day. We're going to get into that. So I was totally exhausted, and I needed to go to bed.
I would have cried.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to go to bed. And Elle, our daughter, she's like, I heard you in there going, ugh. And yeah, that's what I was doing. I was, you got to be kidding me. This is just what you want to do. Be cleaning
There's really nothing worse than poop or puke in your bed.
We
don't have extra bedding because we have like a king size. I don't know. People have backup. I have a backup sheet. That's about it. So
we have a million blankets.
I'd be doing laundry at midnight.
We have a million blankets in this house. So we would survive. We would survive. But luckily the door wasn't open because Lemmy would have just ran right in there, jumped up in bed, and there would have been all over the bed. And then you would have had to take the duvet cover off. It would have been a whole fiasco. Or you just would have slept in it. I don't know. Maybe. But cleaned Lemmy up, of course. And by then it was about midnight. And then I even got up early. I got up at like 6:30 or 6 today, whatever. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, I'm watching these Fulci movies here is what I've been doing. Mm-hmm. I watched Joe Bob last week, had Don't Torture a Duckling. And I've never been the biggest Giallo guy. If you know your Giallo films. Angie, I don't know if you're aware of this. I am one class away from a minor in film in college. That is true. One class away. I just couldn't get that last class done. They said, Kyle, they said, Mr. Peterson, we got your degree. And I said, I'm blowing this candy stand. I don't need any part of this anymore. But I feel like I need to go back. And hopefully my credits still transfer. I can get that minor in film. I feel like my life would be finally complete if I got that.
I'm assuming it's like Italian. Is
Giallo? Yeah, it is. So it's like basically a Giallo movie. For those that don't know, and the real ones know, I'm sure. But it's basically like a whodunit thing. It's usually a damsel in distress and like a guy.
Clue.
The
movie Clue.
Never seen the movie Clue.
Heard they try to figure out who the murderer is.
So it's kind of like that, but I'm sure it's way better. I'm sure that's terrible. But basically they go through and it's like there's all these
lots of boobs too.
What?
Lots of boobs.
In Clue?
No, I'm sure in those like European movies.
Yeah. Yeah. So like Clue, I don't know what you're talking about. You want to start watching these Fulci movies? And
maybe it's better if I'm not talkative because I keep cutting you off.
Yeah, I don't know what
I'm going to sit back and listen to the story.
Well, you soak it in and then jump in.
Okay.
So watch the Fulci.
But you know I'll forget my
What?
You know I'll forget my thought if I wait till the end.
Well, then just you got to know when to jump in. It's like you just got to know.
I jump in when I got it when the brain's
I guess
cooking.
so, and then you throw my brain off. But can I go?
Oh my God, I'm gonna wheeze.
So I watched on Joe Bob. He had Don't Torture a Duckling last week, and I'd never seen that one. I always heard of it. I said, you know what? I've always been more of a Fulci horror guy than a Fulci Giallo guy, but we're going to get here. But I said, okay, I'm going to watch this. And it was pretty darn good. That scene at the beginning where there's like 10-year-old kid and he walks in and the chick's like totally nude, just hanging there and talking to him is like, that's quite the scene. That's quite the scene. I enjoyed that a lot. And the Giallo movies have a lot of color, very vibrant colors, nice colors to them. You watch the deep red, the Argentos. I've seen all that kind of stuff, but I never got into the Fulci ones. But I did watch Torture a Duckling, a movie that could never be made in this day and age. And it's crazy some of the stuff it talks about from the early 70s. So it's worth a watch if you've never watched it. And then I said, you know what? I haven't watched a lot of these Fulci movies lately. And I was going to go to Zombie. That's what most people go to, Zombie. I said, I'm going to save that for the end. But I'm going to work through this Fulci checklist. And I've seen a lot of these Fulci movies over the years. But this week, late at night, I said, all right, I'm going to go through these. So I watched The New York Ripper. I've never seen that one, actually. And that's a bit of a crazy movie. It is really. It's one of... Fulci's known as the godfather of gore, as most people know. I'm sure you knew this. But quite the gory movie. Quite the crazy stuff. They rip this chick's like top off. And then they razor blade her nipple off. It was a wild thing.
God.
It was pretty cool. I'll show you it later.
No, you won't.
No, I'll show you that later. But a lot of crazy stuff. And the guy on the phone with these Giallo movies, it's always like, who done it? Who's the killer? And usually it's somebody from the cast you don't expect. And it's quite the game. And that's why I think Angie would like that, minus the gore part. She wouldn't like that, but she'd like those because you like thrillers. You like to watch The Closer. That's what you could have said. This week I watched 10 episodes of The Closer. It's a show.
I like being scared, but I don't like gore. I don't like gore.
You don't like the gore. But Fulci's got the gore for
it.
Give
me a tummy ache. I gotta go to bed.
So I watched The New York Ripper. I strongly recommend that one. If you're squeamish, maybe not, but I really enjoyed The New York Ripper. I watched City of the Living Dead, part of his Hell's Gate trilogy, and I swear I saw that movie, but it never came to me when I was watching it. But I probably saw it 20 years ago, and it doesn't hold up. I don't know if I enjoyed it before, but I didn't really like it. But it's part of the Beyond, the Cemetery. It's a threesome. It's a 3-pack if you want. And it's not really related. It's the same actress between all three movies. But anyways, I watched City of the Living Dead. Didn't work a lot for me. And then this week, I also watched The Devil's Honey. The Devil's Honey.
God.
This one was wild. I wasn't know what I was expecting there, but it was like, there was so much over-the-top nudity in this thing. I could not believe what I was watching. And it was an Italian movie, of course. And it's a little shocking when you see these girls with these hairy armpits every once in a while. That's a shocker a little bit to the system. I'm just used to your hairy armpits, Angie. But, you love to... But then the hair from, downstairs. Like, all these Italian girls, they got the hair... Because they mostly have dark hair.
It's like full on?
It's full on down there. Of course, it's the early 80s. But it goes up into, like, the belly button. All the way up there. It's like there's like a line Like a line. It's wild.
Oh.
If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But I always look at it, I'm like, that's a weird look. You think you'd shave that or just all natural, as they call it there. But it was a wild movie. The Devil's Honey, like it felt like something you'd watch on like Cinemax late at night or something, but like crazier. There's gore in it. There's killing. It's a wild movie. It's probably one of the wildest movies I've seen. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. It's not for the squeamish either, but anyways, this I don't know if this is. Should we edit all this out? Does anybody even care about this? I'm the only one in America that cares about Fulchi at this point. But long story short, I'm going my way through all these Fulchi movies, and I'm kind of excited about the Fulchi spaghetti westerns. Of course, one of my specialties in my film minor was western movies. Of course, the John Ford westerns, John Wayne. Anyways, I'm going to dive into those, and I'm going to continue the Fulchi trend. Late night with Fulchi and Kyle. It could be if Fulchi wasn't dead, maybe we could have done a podcast together. Who knows?
Wild.
But anyways, Angie, we're at 16 minutes. Haven't gone anywhere.
I love how they really go for it in the sex scenes, though. Like no intimacy coordinator there.
They don't need it.
They just go for it. And you can tell they don't act kiss. They just do it.
This Devil's Honey is something you've never. It's
I hate when people are like, they're not even.
This thing is just like grab you by the hair, and it was wild. And like I've seen some stuff. There's some stuff on the motorcycle I've never seen things done on a motorcycle before.
Reach around or what?
And there was a saxophone scene that I can't believe what I was watching. That was right at the beginning.
That's a good idea. Good vibration.
Like a young Beach Boys, like a young Brian and Carl Wilson. But this saxophone, you think the saxophones go on one end, it's the other end. So it was a shocking scene, and they hit you hard right at the beginning. They get you. They get you right at the beginning.
He inserts it?
And you'll have to watch the movie. You'll have to watch the movie.
It was just a little vibration between the legs.
It's wild. I've really never seen a movie quite like this before. And I'm like, man, this was like 1981 this came out. I'm like, it's wild. It's wild times. But anyways, Fulchi doing his things. But wow. Angie, I don't know. There's probably nobody even listening by now. They've all left us. This
should have been our deeper dive.
Just us girls talking is what it is. Just us girls chatting right now, I think. But Angie, it is time. Since you wanted to go a little bit deeper, it's time for a deeper dive. All right, Angie, it's time for a little bit of a deeper dive, and no deep V this week. I thought you were going to wear it for a deeper dive, deep V. I think you were going to tie that in, but a lot of people were enjoying your outfit last week. And Angie keeping us guessing each week, but it's cold here this day. It's cold. It's cold. You just had to dress up. You couldn't be wearing something short. It's freezing. We got a squall coming through, I think is what they said. So hopefully I don't have to shovel. Anyways, but Angie, it's time for a deeper dive, and part of the zaniness of this episode is because we're a day off. We're doing it at night. Work, it was a busy day yesterday. We had a food show. I had a food show twice a year. You guys may remember last year's food show where good friend of the channel now, Braun Breaker and Jay Uso were there, and I got to hang out with them for a while.
You're just yeeting all over the place.
Yeeting all over. Unfortunately, they were not there this week. No celebrities really there at all. But
budget cuts.
Budget cuts, getting tough. But this huge food show, it's like a San Diego Comic-Con. You guys know conventions and stuff. And we're there selling our wares and things like that. And I guess I should say, kudos to those that were there that were fans of the channel. There was a few people I took pictures with, talked to some fans of the channel. They're the real ones out there. Angie, you got a picture with a fan of the channel. And he said, I got to send this right to my wife. So that was fun. But Angie got some pictures too. But Angie was there. Angie, you don't work for my company. But Angie said, you know what? I'm here. I'm going to help you demo these items.
I'm a real one.
And I'm there talking to people from the corporate offices, the regional and divisional vice presidents, these store directors. I'm there kissing babies, shaking hands, trying to keep things and, doing that whole thing, working the room, doing all that. Angie was holding it down behind the toaster, putting out the samples, doing stuff, doing some chatty Cathy, doing some conversation, seeing some friends. But we were doing that, but it was quite the show.
I was pumping out some numbers though.
She was pumping out some numbers. You were pumping out a lot of things. That's for sure.
I definitely had the deep V cleave.
She did a little bit. Not as deep as you.
I did a tank top to make it.
Yeah, you had to. You knew where we were. But Angie met a lot of fans there. But we spent a whole day there. Now, I was there the day before helping to set up and making sure everything was right. So, Angie, you basically just had to get up and show. And we had a brand new Ninja toaster air fryer that was top of the line. Would you like one of those in our collection?
Yes.
We should have took it home with us. But Angie was doing that. I had to get that already, all the plastic, all the tape off, because that's all you want to do is turn that thing on and burn and set off the alarms and all that kind of fun stuff. But we had our display set up. Angie was rocking and rolling, strutting, strolling right off the bat. We were moving the wares. A lot of fun, right, Angie?
I was scared. We were right next to all the electronic equipment, and I'm plugged in the toaster oven to a drop cord from all their stuff. And I was like, my luck, I'm going to trip on this cord. I'm going to blow the whole sound or something.
We had a primo spot, of course, old West Side KP.
I was so scared.
They gave us the booth right there by the stage where all the speeches happen and all that kind of stuff. But it was right next to the AV like cubicle. They had all this. It was controlling all the cameras and all this because the stage recording and that. And then the day before, the guy, and apparently he was retiring. I don't know, never met this guy in my life, but they gave him a big shout out. It was his last day. Well, his second to last day, he got into it with old KP, and I got into it a little bit. I wasn't, and you weren't there.
No,
yeah. And I was like, he's like, what are you doing setting up right here? You know, like he was worried about me blocking the camera and our setup blocking the camera. Now, this isn't like he had a cell phone. It's not like he had your dad's camcorder. It's not like he had a little old school camcorder. This was like a huge 3-legged tripod, like myself, 3-legged tripod right there with a massive camera. This whole setup was bigger than this whole setup here.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't miss this thing. It's not like a camera you'd walk in front of. And I said, yeah, I'm just going to set up all these displays right in front of your camera. I'm going to put them right in front of there. And this was higher than our setup. So this guy was really irking me. And like, he was just like,
it's not like you chose a spot. They positioned us there.
Yeah, they positioned. I'm like, I know. And I'm like, you know, the show's tomorrow, right? Because I'm standing like, I think the like top of my hair was maybe touching that camera. Like, you know, if he was shooting, it would just hit that. I'm like, I'm literally setting this up. Like,
yeah,
I just didn't have time for things like this. And I was getting all worked up. And then I forget who told me, calm down, don't get so worked up. And then there was a whole nother fiasco there that didn't even involve me, that people were bringing me into. And I was getting all fired up about that. And I'm like, and I told myself, Kyle, why are you dealing with this? Isn't your problem. And I realized that, and I said, they're coming to me for answers. This isn't even my company. I don't even work here. Why am I trying to help them? I said, I gotta go. See you later. I was like, I don't need any extra stress in my life. And
you're just the problem solver.
I am. I said, I did everything I'm supposed to do. I handle my business. I'm lockstep. I'm in key. I don't need to help other companies with their
You're like, I'm already keeping Angie alive. I can't be
yes. I said, these other companies, they need to I like some of these companies. I like some of these people. But you know what? At the end of the day, Kyle eats first. I'm taking care of me and my mental health first. That's what I'm going to do.
Gotta put your own mask on first.
Yeah,
exactly.
Can't
save other people.
Exactly. So I said, I'm out of here. I'm like...
And you didn't even have your second monster yet. So like, what were they thinking talking to you?
I only got one monster 2 days in a row. I was in big trouble. And I was struggling at that. All they had was bottled water at this thing. Huge things. Dasani.
And Red Bull. You don't like Red Bull.
I don't want
the only cold samples they had was
peach and vanilla Red Bull. You might as well.
There was a new ice berry one that was really good.
Dump them down the sink. I don't want anything to do with that. I did talk to the Monster ladies though. The Monster lady, hey ladies, and I came in there, put my arms around them, and I was working the room, old West Side KP. But it was they had some cucumber Monster. I tried it, and I said nope. I said I'm sticking to my white. White Monster's the only Monster I like. I'm not spending any money with you guys besides White Monster. But
remember the Monster girls? Were they Monster on the Motorhead cruise?
Yep, they were.
Chef's kiss.
They were good.
They were the A-team for sure.
Yeah, they were. So I got into it with this AV guy the day before, but that was all good. And I got into it with, anyways, got all set up. So then Angie, all we had to do was we left the house about 7:15 that Thursday morning. Mm-hmm. We drove down there. We had parking passes to park in the parking garage. We did that. Had to carry some stuff in. It was pretty cold. We got in there. We got set up. And what did you think when you walked in? Were you like, wow, this is quite the show?
Yeah, it was big. I guess bigger than I thought.
And it was big.
Two levels, too.
Yeah, 2 levels. I mean, it was huge. I mean, think of every CPG company, of course. Everybody.
I was surprised that they had their own stuff set up. So they had a lot of like displays to like
across the board.
People to help. Yeah.
Tons and tons of stuff. I mean, walls like the beer displays, 1,000 cases of beer displayed up in like a nice thing, and tons of free giveaways. They had like, free glasses. Like some of the guys got Michelob glasses or whatever. There was stress balls, pens, paper, letterhead, free samples, tons of food. And we'll get to the food here, but it was quite the setup. We got in there. Everything worked pretty good. The fryer worked good. We were just off to the races.
The fire?
The air fryer.
A fire.
No, the air fryer.
I thought you said fire.
No.
I was just started a fire.
But we got going there. But unfortunately, we had 2 guys from my company helping between the downstairs group that will remain nameless and mine. But then they would disappear because I get it. I understand it. And I've been to these for 30 years, so I know what they're like. But you're like, oh my gosh, the sights, the sounds, the samples. They started walking the room and walking away. So it's Angie and I. Angie's trying to get these things out. I'm trying to talk to these managers, trying to push my wares, taking care of their needs and what they need, doing whatever I have to do. So it got pretty stressful, and I never got to walk the full thing. Usually I like to at least get one walkthrough. I try to get some free stuff, because who doesn't like free stuff? And I try to sample a bunch of these things. And I was extra interested in the cheese stuff. As you guys know, I've been trying to get the sharpest cheese I can find. So I wanted to talk to these cheese sommeliers or whatever they're called, these experts, to try to get down to it. And I did get there a little bit. But anyways, Angie and I did that whole thing. Finally, Angie, after a couple of hours, the guys, we said, hey, Angie and I both got to pee. We got to pee. We're going to go pee. And then I got my picture in the Modelo thing with the Modelo guy. I put my face in there. That was fun. Angie refused to do it. I said, I'm doing it. I'll do it. So she took my picture. So we peed. We talked to some people, shook some hands, kissed some babies. But then we ended up going to get lunch. And lunch, unfortunately for me, I didn't like the lunch. It was super thick bread with like 2 slices of ham, 2 slices of cheese. It was just too thick, too much bread. I'll choke and die. We can talk about that later on in the Q&A. So I didn't really eat a whole lot of that. I took like 2 bites. And
I just went sans bun. I just made a little meat burrito.
Yeah, I didn't.
They didn't skimp on the meat. There was like 8 slices of ham in there.
And unfortunately, it was my bread was really wet and soggy. It had that ham juice all over. Oh God! I don't like that ham juice. I just imagine
and
that.
And you don't like condiments, so you were really choking.
Yeah,
I put all that mayo and mustard on there.
I never wear a condiment. That's for sure. I never. Always go in there just raw. I don't need any slip and slide, and that's right. So. I didn't enjoy that, but in a plot twist, Angie, we did walk around a little bit. Well, we tried to, and then I got...
It's so bad for me. It's so... Because you always run into people,
I get pulled away.
Yapping.
I get pulled away by a vice president that...
What's the word? Yapping. I'm mixing yapping and gabbing. I got it.
Are you done?
No. I'm really not. So then I just stand there like this because no one's talking to me.
Well, a lot of people talk to you.
No, I mean...
You talk to your little bear? Angie talked to some people. You talked. I know you worked. Angie knew a lot of people there too. Maybe not as many as me, but I'd get pulled away by it. That was the hard part. I tried to walk around, but then there'd be somebody that pulled me away. I need to talk to you about this or that. And so half hour later, I got to go back to the table. And anyways, I walked around after lunch and I hit the sweet spot. There was Kinder barbecue sauce. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you haven't. Hit the sweet spot over there as they said, hey, we got some pulled pork, we got some smoked chicken, and like some kind of brisket type stuff. And I'm like looking, I'm like, what do I want? I like all 3 of these. And then the lady's like, I'll give you all 3. And I said,
you're like, yeah, you will.
Give me all 3. And then they had them in this like cardboard like boat, kind of like you put a hot dog in, but it was a big thing. So she put 3 things in there. And then they literally had like 35 sauces right there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what sauce? I said, I've tried a lot of these. Which one am I going to try? And then I remembered that cherry barbecue sauce goes really well with pulled pork. And I said, ooh, they have this brand new black cherry. And usually I don't like black cherry, but this was delicious. So I put that on the pork. That was really good. And then they had the Kinder's Reserved. It was some kind of aged barbecue. I put that on the chicken. That was fabulous as well. And then on the brisket, I went a little bit crazy and I tried like a pineapple habanero. And it was all fine. It was all good. But they loaded me up with a ton of food, so I had like a meal right there. And then conveniently enough, all my cheese people were around the corner. I said, all right, which one of you guys has the sharpest cheese? I said, I want a cheese that's so sharp that I'm not sure if I like it or not when I put it in my mouth. And I want to have like a puckered face when I get it.
Might take the lining of your mouth
And
off.
This old lady, she grabbed me by the sleeve and said, I got just what you need. And I said, oh my gosh. So next thing we knew, we're behind the curtain. No, she said, I got just what you need. So we walk over there and it was a Tillamook. And now we had a question last week, this guy saying, hey, try this Tillamook. And I'm like, okay. Well, it was a Tillamook and apparently it's not out yet. So it must not be the one he was talking about, but it was aged 15 years, Angie.
Oh my God.
15 years. I said, now you're speaking. He goes, we got 2 new ones, the 15-year cheese and the 3-year cheese. So I said, all right, give me the 15. He goes, you want to start at 3 first? So give me the 15. And I put it in. And I did, it's all toothpick stuff, of course, with these samples, toothpicks all over the place. I went too deep in there. That's what I did. Gave it one of those. And then I flicked it Razor Ramon style in her eye, and she didn't understand that. I said, Razor Ramon. And she's like, I don't know what that is.
Oh my God.
Didn't do that. But this stuff, I'm like, ooh, yep, that's what I'm looking for. I said, this is perfect. And she goes, well, try the 3. So then I tried the 3, and I about spit it out. Once you had 15, you can't go to 3. And I was telling her that, like, before I started, I said, this better be real. I said, I've had like the Kraft. I used to work for Kraft. I said, I've had the extra sharp from Kraft. I've had the Cracker Barrel extra sharp. That stuff's too floppy. It's floppy. You don't want floppy cheese. You want crumbly, stiff cheese for the sharp. And she did not lead me astray. I love this 15. She said, it's coming out soon. But I was like, so what's this cost? She's like, well, it might be about $20. And the brick was like this. It was super small. And I'm like, oh, I like super sharp cheese.
Why do I have expensive taste?
Yes, but I'm like, what do? I eat that whole thing like in 2 bites. So I don't know. That's too rich for my blood. I tell you, the best one I found, we just bought it at Costco this week. It's some kind of cheese from England. It's like 2-year sharp cheddar, but that thing crumbles up so good. It's big though, but you know,
beef or what's it called?
I don't know. It's very big. So I know you like it. You're used to that, but it's a big block of cheese. Delicious. So that's the one I'm going to. But man, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough being a cheese connoisseur, then you don't know you're a connoisseur. But I tried a bunch of other cheeses. There was a couple of, I found out I really like a sharp cheese and I like a nutty cheese. So I went through, I worked the circuit. There was a lot of bad cheeses there. Tomato basil cheese and oregano cheese and cheese and Munster cheese and Gouda cheese. And I was trying all these cheeses and it was fine. But
I was just slaving away.
And you were slaving away. So I tried all this. I talked to some old associates. Talked to that. I went over to the Nabisco booth. I said, boys, what's going on? You remember me? Like, oh my gosh, Kyle. Oh my gosh. Things haven't been the same without you. I did see that it looks like they're coming out with a chicken and waffle Oreo. I said, we'll be trying that on our podcast there. Can we get a sponsorship? And they said, we know what you're up to. We know what you're up to. Get out of here. And so then I left. No, maybe not.
Or too R-rated.
Yeah, maybe. But it was good. So I worked the circuit a little bit, but I didn't get to do as much as I wanted to. Didn't get to try. There was some new frozen pizza that I missed out on trying because I had to go help Angie. And it was balls to the wall there. It was basically 7:30 till about 6 o'clock at night, just straight. No real breaks, really. That little bit is what we told you. And I was getting really thirsty. And I needed an energy drink. I needed a Diet Mountain Dew would have been great. They didn't have any of that stuff. So I was just rocking that Atlanta tap water. The Dasani is what I was drinking. But we did well. It did good. We had to clean up. We had to do all that. But Angie took her out to a dinner. And Angie, what happened with this steak dinner? Well, we'll go to this, but then we'll go back to the show. But Angie said, okay, I'll do this. And I got approval to get her a fancy steak dinner. I said, where do you want to go? All right. I said, we can go anywhere you want for dinner. You helped us all day. We're going to buy you dinner and me dinner too. And we went to a place. I already forgot what it was, but Angie loves the steak there.
Yeah. It's like a brewing company downtown.
And tell them.
And there's my favorite steak in the whole world. I think I've talked about it on here. The steak de Burgo.
Mm-hmm.
And you think they had it on the menu anymore? Heck no.
They took it off the menu. And Angie, I thought it was really disrespectful. That waitress was probably 22 years old. Super nice. Nice, cute blonde. Real nice, cute blonde. Angie grabbed her water and just did one of those. A flash one right in the face. She was so mad.
Can you imagine?
You were so mad. You said, well, we can't leave now. We paid $1.25 for parking. We can't go now. We're stuck here. We paid $1.25.
I was happy with what I got, though.
But then, Angie, what did you get?
I ordered a filet with a creamy Parmesan sauce. Mm-hmm. So I thought that would be like a close because it does have this like sauce on
and
it.
What else? The whole meal?
And green beans.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a little bacon.
There you go.
Crispy bacon.
So she had that. No dessert. We passed on dessert. We should have grabbed one.
I just got a water too.
And she just got a water. I got a Diet Mountain Dew. I needed one after a tough day. That's for sure. And then I got the chicken Caesar salad.
Yeah, you went real healthy.
Oh, it's delicious. I love a good chicken Caesar.
That was really garlicky.
It was very garlicky. I'm surprised you wanted to let me sleep in the room that night because you hate garlic. But yeah, you didn't mind it.
You and that poop dog.
Oh, yeah. It was between us two. Garlic and poop. I don't know. I said, taste my garlic. Taste my garlic. He said, oh, garlicky. Anyways, but then, of course, Angie, we did our wares like all these other companies. We championed. We fought for our brands. We did our thing. We had some success, I hope. We'll see what happens when the final tallies come, but I think it was a good day. We'll do it again in August. I don't know if you'll be there, but I for sure will be there in August. But Angie, the thing is, when the close down time comes, no vendor wants to bring anything back. It's like, I'm flying out of here. I'm driving out of here. I don't want to take all this stuff, ourselves included. But I tell you what, at the end, we had quite the mad dash. We didn't have a whole lot of stuff left. There was just a little bit of stuff left, and they were going to take it to, I think it was going to be a food pantry. I didn't think they were, but apparently they were taking it, so I felt good. Give them some of this stuff for the food pantry. But we were sat up next to Mr. Beast all day. So he said, Kyle, don't call me Mr. Beast. Call me Jimmy. And that's what he said. He goes, I'm Jimmy to you, and you're Kyle. And he goes, would it be okay if I guested or we did a promotional video or we worked together on some collaboration for your YouTube channel and mine? He goes, I don't like to big time people because he's got more followers than I do. I think he's got more followers than both of my channels combined, if I'm not mistaken. And he goes, but I'd like to get the word out there. I like what you do. I like how you talk. I like how you look. And I didn't know, I took that weird, but he said, I want a pro. And I said, you're going to hurt my brand. You're going to hurt my brand, Mr. Beast. I said, I can't have you, but I will try some of your fine chocolates. Now, Angie, I did get one of those milks he had. It's like a shelf-stable milk. That puts alarms up already.
It's like a protein milk, isn't it?
I guess. So, I don't know. But
did you try it today?
Yep. So that's where I was going. So this morning when I had my Monster, I said, I still need a little bit more. I need a little bit more. I had my oatmeals with almond, and I had a little of that. I said, I need a little bit more. I'm going to have one of these Mr. Beast Feastable drinks, the chocolate one. I said, I love a chocolate milk. And so I got it, and we kept it in the refrigerator last night. Now, I looked and it said, only refrigerate after opening. So that was part of the problem, it sounds like. Ooh. But who wants to drink that stuff warm? It's gross. Or even room temperature. I don't know. So I was okay. And it said shake well, so I'm giving it the old shake.
That move.
I'm giving the old shake, and just boom, right like that. Mm-hmm. And I tried it. I'm sipping on it, and it tastes, it's funny is those things that taste like. You
shook it too much. You know how protein gets weird when you shake it too much.
I'm getting there, Angie. I'm getting there. I shook it all up, and it had that chalky taste. And it feels like I need like a water to drink with it. It's like it dehydrates me. It's really weird. And it had like
sodium's high in them.
It had 23 protein, but it had like 480 calories in it. And I'm like, it didn't feel worth it to me. Yeah, it was a lot.
That's a lot.
It was a lot. So anyways, I'm drinking it, and then all of a sudden, I felt like a little like. Chunk.
Oh god.
A little chunk, and it like hit my lips. I'm like, that's weird. Maybe I'm dreaming. And then I'm getting to the bottom of this thing, and then all of a sudden, when you do one of these, all these little like raisinets hit my my lips.
Oh my god!
I'm like, what the heck? And I thought it was chocolatey, but not as chocolatey as I would have liked. So I don't know if it's because we refrigerated it. Like when you shook it up, it didn't get all.
Well, that's why it didn't taste as chocolatey, because all those little bits needed to be.
It should have been. So I don't know if refrigerating froze it or made it cold. God. It wasn't very good. It wasn't very good.
Making a drink like that, you can't drink cold though.
No, it wasn't very good. But so anyways, the end of the day, he gave all his free stuff. We got free stuff. We got free chocolate bars. And then at the end, they're like, no, we're not taking any of this. Take it. So literally got about, I don't know, 200 of these. 200 of these probably. Mr. Beast Feastables Creamy Peanut Butter Cups, 2 cups. Now, I've been a champion of this channel from the early days of the podcast, giving my dissatisfaction with the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, which used to be absolutely amazing, which now tastes way too chemically in this day and age. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, I'm going to try these. Now, I didn't like the drink. I found that out this morning. I tried the regular chocolate. I did not like that. Angie, you tried the caramel one.
No.
Didn't like that. So it's like, this isn't going to be very good. Did you try this?
No.
So you're going to try it right now. We're going to do a bonus, try new foods because it might taste good. We got 2 of these bad boys right here, and you're going to try one, Angie. Mm-hmm, See you later, goodbye. So I tried one of these yesterday, and I was actually blown away.
The ingredient list is really like clean, so I'm expecting it to look like real peanut butter inside.
I don't like the chocolate smell to this.
It's soft.
It's very soft, melts in your hand almost immediately, so that feels kind of good, but smells kind of weird. Give it a try.
I think it smells good. Oh, God. Wow. That's crazy.
It is very good.
Oh, so much peanut butter. God, peanut butter. And it just tastes like real peanut butter. It tastes like you ate a scoop of peanut butter.
It tastes like you got a piece of like a Hershey's chocolate, you dumped it in peanut butter and ate it. This is fabulous. This is fabulous. This is a 5 out of 5 for those keeping track at home. I don't know about you, but you know, Angie, I love one of my favorite things in the world, chocolate and peanut butter.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know where you're going. Me?
You. That's my second favorite. It's up to you. Down it. Take it down. Throw it down the hatch.
Oh, wait.
Show us how you clean all that peanut butter.
Oh my God.
But I love this creamy peanut butter in here. The chocolate's so-so, but mixed with the peanut butter, this is good. Everything else I tried from him, absolutely hot garbage. You said the caramel one's hot garbage. I strongly recommend this one. So I got like 1,000 of these. Now I should have looked how many calories are in it. Probably 400 for 2. But
oh God, it can't be that bad.
I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I've fallen out of love with them with their new changes and all that stuff. Uh-oh, what do we got? I've fallen out of love. I absolutely love these.
$2.20 for both. So only $1.10 a piece.
That's probably better than the Hershey's Peanut Butter Cup.
Yeah.
So these are really, really good. So I was very pleased when I tried these. And I'm very happy I have like 1,000 of these now. I have a full grocery sack just full of these.
There's maybe only like 8 ingredients.
It's all you need. It's all you need. So definitely tastes like a scoop of peanut butter mixed with some chocolate. So I recommend these. So we did get that. I wanted to get a lot of other stuff. We did get a Takis blanket for the kids. They love that kind of thing. We got a Takis chair.
And one of those like pop-up beds that like people take to festivals where you like put the air in and roll it. And...
Yep. You got a couple of Red Bulls, didn't you, or something? You got some probiotic cola. We got like a Monster for me, some juice Monster. So I'll try it begrudgingly. I won't like it. One? I think so. I won't like it, but I'll try it. What else? You sampled a bunch of our products, that's for sure. Those were pretty good. Those were
too much. A lot of this stuff's not even out yet.
Yeah, I know. You got to be careful on some of this stuff. And I might have mentioned that Oreo. I might have.
Oh yeah.
I don't work for the company. What are they going to do to me? What are they going to do to me? I got in trouble for that one time. I
get invited back
when the Devil's red. What were those? What's that? Red Velvet. When those Red Velvets were first announced, I got one of the first ever sample ones, and I was eating it. Elle was eating it. And I had there was a picture eating it in the background, and like I got in trouble for that. I'm like, who cares? Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, but it was a success. Quite the show. It was a long day. Angie, we were both very tired at the end of the day. You went to bed early. We just were like
dissociating at dinner. We were like staring off.
It was tough. I don't get too tired, but I didn't have any caffeine all day. On your feet for 13, 14 hours in total. It was a long day out there, but it was fun. It's different than the norm. The bad thing is everybody will say, Kyle, it's fun. You get to go to those shows and stuff. But guess what? Kyle's job doesn't stop while I'm at there. I'm working all day for 2 days at this thing. Guess who's got 10,000 emails he's got to catch up on all weekend and all that? And
not me.
Not you, but I do. But I do appreciate you coming there. You helped me out. And I knew I could count on Angie. Sometimes you can't count on people. And I knew this one right here would have my back and make sure everything was dialed in. And you did. So I'm going to recommend you next time. The pay's not very well, obviously, but
terrible.
See what happens in the future.
Paid in snacks. Well, I did get a steak out of it.
You got a steak out of it. You got to spend time with me, and you got to work the room and all that kind of fun stuff. Who knows?
Little networking.
Maybe met a future husband of yours. You never know who you might have seen there. So there it is. Deeper dive at the food show with Angie and I. But now, Angie, we're going to go to another one. It's time to try new foods because they might taste good.
Try a little bit of this and a little bit of that. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. We got to try new food because they might taste good.
All right, Angie, it's time for Try New Foods because they might taste good. Brought to you by Deutsch Snacking Dough. Of course, available and save 20% with the coupon code in the description of this very video. Check it out. We tried it on the channel not too long ago.
We made it all. We need to get more.
We ate it all. Got to get some more, but save 20%. Got to get a deal out there. So thank them for sponsoring Try New Foods because it might taste good. If you want to sponsor the channel, just reach out, of course. But Angie, it's time for another treat to try here today. I don't think it's going to top the last one.
I know. We're doing it dirty, kind of.
We're going to do it dirty. But Angie, what do you got this week for us?
Speaking of, we were just talking about Chips Ahoy, the new cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream. And we've learned one thing on this channel that Angie dabbles in the cookies, but the cream is where you specialize. That's your favorite part. And the whiter, the better. The thicker, the better. It doesn't look
like it's filled, though. It's got like white chips.
You like cream gushing out usually. You
like
a lot.
A lot of their new ones are like filled, kind of like how that red velvet one you were just talking about has like a cream cheese filling in it.
You like the oozing of the cream. You like it just gushing out.
I don't gotta lick my lips, you know.
Yeah,
not worth it.
All right, what do we got going on here? Oh, they're stuck together.
Sticky icky.
All right. What calories? What are we looking at here? This is limited edition. Should be available everywhere, I do believe.
140 for 2.
So 140 for 2. These aren't as filling as the last one. Because, I can still taste that peanut butter.
But that had like 5 protein. This only has 1, so it's a lot.
Yeah, that one I felt like I had a huge scoop of peanut butter in my mouth. So this could be interesting. Now, Chips Ahoy, I like the chewy more than the regular. I don't know if everybody else is like that. I do feel they have an overly chemically taste to me, though, personally.
They almost make it look like it's an Oreo.
Yeah, it's probably cookies and cream makes sense. That's what people think of. So
I don't know if there's actually Oreo.
We're going to try this. We're going to rate it out of 5 as we usually do. Chips Ahoy, cookies and cream. Let's see how much cream is in there for Angie. I guess the cream is like the
cookie bit has a crunch, so it does taste like you're crunching on an Oreo. And the little pieces are small, but why does it taste No.
If somebody asked me what this was, I wouldn't tell you cookies and cream. Like
I'm
I think of
that it's like hard to tell what it is, but it also tastes less chemically than a regular chewy.
It's got a weird aftertaste. I think of when I think cookies and cream, I think of like the Hershey's cookies and cream candy bar.
Mm-hmm.
Those little bites of Oreo or whatever they are does have a nice little crunch to it.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that, but I don't like the white stuff. I don't like the cream. I'm not a cream guy, but Angie loves cream, as we've known.
It's like not bad, not good. Yeah. It's just weird. I can't even like. It reminds me of something, but it doesn't remind me of cookies and cream.
Well, Angie, I'm going to take the lead, and I'm going to go first on this one. I'm giving it a 2 out of 5.
That's what I was going to say. See, I just threw the 2. I just threw it up.
You threw up the dubs. I'm going 2 out of 5. It's fine. It tastes okay. It loses a point. It would have been middle of the road, but it loses a point because I wouldn't be able to tell you that's cookies and cream if I had to guess. So cookies and cream, if I don't know what I'm eating, it doesn't. It's fine. It's fine. It's edible. It's worth trying. If you like Chips Ahoy, you like cookies and cream, give it a shot. I don't know, but it's not going to change your life. Angie, not enough cream for Angie. She was hoping gushing cream out the side, just clean up. Yeah, that's how you like those. But we've had those before. They were like muddy or whatever. Nabisco used to have those Chips Ahoy that just, you broke it in half and the cream would come out.
Kind of like a molten lava cake.
Yeah, there was like a chocolate one and a vanilla. So it's not quite like that. So
no filling.
No filling. So that's it, Angie. We've just basically, I'm not even hungry for dinner now.
Well, I need real food now after this.
Well, we'll get you some real food.
Need some protein.
We'll get you some. So, Angie, that's it. That is, of course, try new foods because it might taste good. But now, Angie, we're jumping over very quickly for another Tales from Retail. All right, Angie, we're skipping album of the week this week, unfortunately.
You can't stop yapping.
There was too much yapping going on, but I'm not sure if I was ready for it yet. It's the brand new Creator album, Crushers of the World. I don't know. You like Creator? You know what Creator is?
I think I've
Teutonic thrash metal. You know, I've seen him in concert numerous times. I love a little Creator. Very Slayer-esque. You know what you're getting yourself into with Creator. The new album just sounds like Creator. So that's all I really have at this point. It sounds like Creator, but it doesn't sound like they're moving but that's the thing. It's the problem with these legacy bands from the 80s and even before that. You kind of you find your sound, you stick with it. That's the way it goes. You play all the hits, and that's kind of what I do. I play the hits, and that's just the way it goes. So no album of the week this week, but if there was going to be one, it would be that one. So the more you know, folks. But we're going to go Tales from Retail here, and we're going to go back to the days of Nabisco, Angie, for this one. You ready to sit in and listen and see if you remember this story once upon a time?
Yep.
Now, once upon a time, I was a very young manager. You remember these days? Very young. Sweetie. Just a little sweetie. All dressed up, suit and tie, ready to go. Very young manager. But before I was a manager, I was a sales rep. Working the streets. You know what it's like working the streets. You've worked them. You've worked them a time or two. Working the streets there, and I was a sales rep. You know, had no big deal. I was the #1 sales rep in the United States. And the biggest improvement of a sales rep when I took that over, the biggest jump from a route, no big deal. No big deal. Just saying. But I did take over that route, and I did have a merchandiser. Now, without saying his name, do you remember my merchandiser? He was goofy. He was a great friend. I enjoy his company to this day. I actually introduced him to his wife and broke the ice there, and they have like 4 kids now. He had glasses. He's from around these parts.
Okay.
No, how do you not remember who my merchandiser was? You know him. He was goofy, tall, lanky, glasses. Just your kind of guy. Yes, she says it right into the microphone. I said, let's protect the innocent here. But we'll call him Alibaba.
There you go.
There it goes. But anyways, great guy, goofy guy. And he was my merchandiser when I was a kid, or when I was a sales rep. I did the ordering, I did all the discussion with the managers. He filled the shelves basically, and I bossed him around to do our thing. We were quite the unit. We both enjoyed a lot of stuff. We joked around. We had fun out there. And I miss those days of just having fun out there on the route. Something special when you have 11 stores and that's your whole world and you're in charge of those 11 stores. Talk about, you don't have to rely on anybody really. It's just you and your merchandiser. It is what it is. But anyways, great guy, worked together. He was a sleepy guy though. He had trouble. I was at my first store by like 4:30, 4:45 every morning. And we had a deal because he was late all the time. And he said, okay, whoever's late, we'd have to be here at 5. If we were both there before 5, we were good. But if one of us was late, we had to buy the other one breakfast. Now, we always love these skillets. I always got the ham and cheese skillet at one of the grocery stores. We would do our huge Walmart first, knock that out. Then we go eat our skillet. I would do my orders while we ate and stuff. And, we do that. It was like $3 back then we got the employee meal price. So it was nice for them to take care of us because we ate there every day. But it was, okay, whoever's late has to pay. He bought me probably 500 breakfasts over like a 3-year span, I think, something like that. That's a little exaggeration, but I ate a lot of free breakfasts on him. And I'm like, you realize you could just get, and like, it was fine. Like, you could just literally get up early and not have to do this anymore. Or, you know what? If you're going to be late, like some days he'd be 3 minutes late, 4 minutes late, 5 minutes late. You're already late. Why not be a half hour late? You might as well just really make it a sleep-in session. And then what we ended up doing was, we'd run that big truck together at Walmart, get that done. He'd go to the next store as I wrote my order. He would run that truck over there, start on it. I'd come help him finish. And once he was finished, I'd write my order. He'd go to the next store. So basically what we would end up doing, okay, you're late. You're 20 minutes late, 30 minutes late. You got about 30 minutes work left. I'm leaving. I'm going home because this is a long day for me. Let him finish up the truck and we move on. So it all worked out fine, but it was just a fun thing. One of those games you do. And we loved it too at Walmart. Every 7 a.m. every morning, they would do like the announcements and then Walmart radio. You guys probably familiar with that. And they would always do the safety dance. The men without hats, the safety dance, the good dance. They would play that and we would always just like look at each other down the aisle. Oh, it's time. It's 7. And he would always cut a rug right there. And he'd put down that cardboard. He'd just start doing the safety dance in the aisle. We had a lot of fun out there. We had a lot of fun, Angie. We had a lot of fun. But it came a time where I had to get promoted. I was like, you know what? I'm working my way up. I'm like the Jeffersons, trying to move my way up to the east side is what I was trying to do. So I got promoted, and almost Alibaba was still on my team. And, I was hoping he would be promoted, but he didn't really, he was still young. But I hate it when people say, oh, they're young. Well, guess what? Just because you're young doesn't give you an excuse for things. Like, I started working when I was 14. I took it seriously the day I took 14. There's some people that don't take their job seriously. And I'm like, management by 18. Before that, I was 17. So it's one of those things. You got to take your responsibility seriously. You've been entrusted to do this. And I know. But anyways, that's what I think. And that's what I view. I feel you should do your job. So he would have been great to be promoted, but he needed a lot of work. And unfortunately, I ended up becoming his boss. Now, I was kind of his boss as a sales rep, but he didn't necessarily report to me. I bossed him around at the stores, told him what to do, but I wasn't his direct manager. Well, I got promoted. I became his direct manager. And I've managed a lot of friends. I've brought a lot of friends into the company over years. There's so many people that I've paid via getting them into my work, got their college paid for them. 4 years of college paid, and I've got them promoted numerous times. And, dear old Fred, who I've talked about on the channel, passed away. He did that for me. He opened doors for me. I had to work hard to get there, but he was a champion for me with other higher ups to get me where I wanted to go. And I always wanted to do that to friends and people I knew that had it. And I always supported my people, and I always had. And when I did leave that Nabesco Corporation, I had about 60 employees that all resigned within 10 days. So part-time merchandisers, full-time merchandisers stuff. So I took good care of my people. I backed my people fiercely unless they did me wrong. And poor Al did me wrong. So anyways, Al, I had to come to Jesus with him. Like, you got to shape up. You're too old for some of these shenanigans. And you'll get in trouble for like cussing in the aisle or something, whatever. Read in the riot act. And I said, I'm challenging you. And back in the day, you used to be able to get physical with employees. You can't get physical with employees and customers anymore. And that's future Tales from Retail.
That's the problem right there.
Where I mean, in Alibaba will still tell you, if anybody talks to him to this day, about the time I picked him up by the throat and picked him up in the air because I was so mad at him. But you could get away with that stuff back in the day.
You could never do that with your back now.
No, my back's shot probably
and
because of this.
And you would start bleeding.
No, here we go. Here we go, poking at my cancer. I'm very sensitive about it. I'm very, what's the word? I'm very,
sensitive is a good word.
Sensitive. I don't know about sensitive, about my looks. I'm very, I don't know. But, you were there yesterday with me.
About your looks?
I had someone say, oh, Kyle, is it, your cancer? I'm like, oh, I don't want to put, I've said it before. I don't like putting people in the situation where they have to feel bad for me or I'm sorry you got that. Yeah, I know. I just feel bad. I feel bad that people feel bad for me. I don't know there's probably a term for that. There's something psychological, but Anyways.
You're too proud to have people feel sorry for you.
I'm too proud, I guess. I don't know. But it sucks because I just feel like I look like Frankenstein's monster. Still,
my God.
here we are,
Can't even
2
see
months, still scabbed over here, just looking like...
in your beard where no one can see it.
Oh, and that's why I keep
You act
the
like
hair.
you're like...
I keep the hair over here so nobody can see this. But now I got my train of thought lost here. Where was I going with that?
Al did it was naughty.
Alibaba?
Alibaba was naughty.
Where was I going? Where was I going with this? I get sidetracked. It's late.
I'm yapping too much.
I guess Angie gets out there late, but I gave him the old speech, and that's what it's called. The speech. The speech. I gave him the speech. Ship up or ship out, or what?
Or you were talking about how you picked him up by the throat.
Yeah, shape up, ship out. Had to do all that, and he still to this day tells people about it. Kyle. One time he picked me up by the throat in the aisle. Was gonna kill me. Maybe. I don't know. If I would have had 3 monsters, if monster was a thing back then, I would have probably. But we'll tell more of those stories in the future. But I told him, get on track, make something of yourself, get somewhere. I know you can do it. You can do this. Do it. And guess what? He kicked butt all year. After I gave him that speech, he wanted to prove me wrong, prove me right, whatever he wants to be. He wanted to show that he could do this. Proud. He kicked butt all year long. He stepped it up. I was so proud of him. I had a couple of tears come out. I saw him and I wiped it to the side so he wouldn't see me cry. I was so proud of him. But then in a massive plot twist, literally the week before performance evaluations, Angie, get this. And I don't know if you remember this story or not. So it was literally a week, and I had him down as an exceeds expectation, which means you got at minimum a 10% raise, like the cream of the crop. I think I had 80 employees, and I think you could give 2 or 3 and exceed. So you had to do a good job, and he took what I did and ran with the ball and picked it up. I was very, very proud. So we're about a week out. I think December 1st was the start of evaluations. You had that whole month to meet with your people, get their signature after you sat down with them, that whole rigmarole. And here we are, Thanksgiving. I don't know if this is ringing a bell. I don't know why Angie would remember this story, but here we are, Thanksgiving. Now, you can imagine the grocery industry, Thanksgiving, pretty darn busy. The busiest it ever gets, especially at a company like Nabisco, once upon a time, still to this day, snack crackers, Ritz, they're just flying, hand over fist, just out the door. So we're very busy. Anybody that wants to work, you can work, basically. And really, you can't give time off during that time of year. It's kind of blacked out. You can't have time off for Thanksgiving because we need all the bodies out there, the sales, all this stuff. So we need everybody. And this was a year where you have people that go on disability, like they get injured. And are they injured? Oh, come on, I know what you're up to. We have some of those guys. And I don't know if we were shorthanded, but we needed more people. And I was always the first out there back in the day. I was in the front line. I remember there was one day I worked 24 hours straight out in the field. I was hallucinating by the end of the day. I worked 24 hours straight in the stores. And Alibaba and I used to love getting out. We'd go out at 3 a.m. on Christmas Eve. We had a lot of fun. We'd always have a fun breakfast, and we would go out. It was a lot of fun. Anyways, long story. It was Thanksgiving week, and it was the day before Thanksgiving, the busiest absolute day ever. Dinner's done, or the buzzer went off.
Oven's preheated.
It's pretty cool in this studio that we have an oven in here. That's just pretty awesome to have one of those. It's pretty awesome. Not all studios have those, so I think that is pretty fun. But here we are the day before Thanksgiving. He calls in sick, and I'm like, there's no way he's sick. And he sent a text message, and I knew where he lived, and he wasn't home. And this guy was a hunter. He loved to hunt. He went duck hunting all the time, and that's where he went. He went duck hunting, and he was supposed to merchandise and help out the senior sales rep out there. This guy helped train me back in the day. He might have flown like an eagle. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think so.
You know who I'm talking about? He was a good guy. He might be DH, maybe was his initials. Mm-hmm. Very good guy. Salt of the earth, long retired now, but a great guy. Whenever I see him, it's just always nice to see him. And he was the old senior guy. So it's like, you don't want him. And he'd had knee replacements. He was the guy that told me, Kyle, you were crazy. Put cardboard down. You need to protect your knees. You need to protect your back. You're doing a lot of stupid stuff. And I'm like 23 years old, 24 years old. And I'm like, old man, you don't know what you're talking about. And now I'm like, if next time I see him, I should have listened to you. You used to tell me all the time. And now my body is a wreck from just destroying it.
Now you make a lot of noise when you have to crouch down.
Oh my gosh, Angie, you were doing something the other day to me and my knees were cracking like crazy. You're like, what is going on? Did you remember that? Those knees are like cracking like crazy. Like, I don't know what's going on. You can hear me coming up and down the stairs between my ankles and my knees. It's wild time. But long story short, Alibaba called in sick, left the senior guy on the day before Thanksgiving out on his own. I'm out there already slaving away, helping out. I finally got over there to that other side of town to help him out and finish the day. I think it was the day before Thanksgiving. We got done at like 7 o'clock at night, which wasn't terrible, but we would have liked to been done by like 4 or something, especially when you're starting at like 4 in the morning. But I was fuming. Oh, I'm just thinking about it now. I'm getting all fired up. And I was so mad that you would do that to him first off. And then you know how busy it is for everything else. To call in sick and do that and to go enjoy a day of duck hunting. Just, oh, I was so mad. So this was like, the 26th, 27th, whatever Thanksgiving was. We're off Thanksgiving. The Friday after, pretty dead. But then the next week was the start of performance evaluations. And I was just seething. And of course, I went there and I met him at one of the stores. And I met him in the back room. I said, hey, let's go do your performance evaluation. And I had it all right there. I had the exceeds expectation, everything ready to go. Showing this thing, looked beautiful, looked all nice. And then he's looking at it, he's like, wow, he's probably thinking, I mean, if I was him, I'd be thinking, wow, I'm going to get this pay increase. It's like, it's a great deal. And I said, you know all this? Unfortunately, this isn't the review. And I literally picked it up right in front of his face and I ripped it in half, threw it over right there, and the compactor was right there, and I threw it away. And what did I do? I had another one right behind that, and I said, unfortunately, this is the one you have that it was needs improvement, the lowest you could possibly go. So from the top of the house to the bottom of the house. Now, thinking back now, older, wiser, maybe not as wise, a little bit not as crazy, maybe not as, I'm not lunging over the table to punch somebody out. Maybe that's another story in the future. But I feel a little bit bad because should that have fallen that far from like killing it all year long and then one instance here, knowing though it was one of the busiest days of the year and knowing that what he did, I don't know. So I do kind of wonder once in a while if I should have done that, but I did it and he didn't get a raise that year. He got no pay increase and he cried, if I remember correctly, and he felt bad. So it was nice that he genuinely felt bad and understood like what he did to not just that guy, me, and the whole team. And whenever you're part of a sales force, anything, it's about the team at the end of the day. You want to have the team unity. You want everybody together, and we all win together. We all go home together. We all, old TG, old Tom Gordon. We'll throw him out there. Good friend of the channel. Him and I used to work together all the time, sending our help each other's way so we'd all finish at the same time. Instead of him going home at noon and me being out there till 6, hey, I'm going to send Kyle some of my extra help. And that's what it's about. It's about the team. It's about the team. Anyways, I still feel kind of bad about that a little bit, but not really. Not really. I sleep at night just fine, don't I? You hear me snore. You hear me snore, so apparently. But that's one thing in my current situation in life. I'm very happy I'm not a people manager anymore. I just don't think I could take it at this point in my life. I put in my years of people management. I just don't need that anymore.
You'd be making a lot of people cry.
I don't know. I'd be fired.
These people are soft.
They're soft, and I couldn't deal with it. And HR would have fired me by now. I can't say that. I've said too much. So there it is, Angie. A little tales from retail, some fun, some sadness, all mixed in there. But Angie, it's time now for a few final thoughts. All right, Angie, it's time for a few final thoughts, and we got a few questions this week to dive into and to talk about. You got some answers to give to the people here, and I guess I'll read it, I guess. You haven't been prepped at all. I've been doing everything. Michael Campbell, 7010, question of the week. Of all the collection your daughters, not mine, maybe mine too, have started, what was both of yours so hard to say goodbye? What are you sad? Like they've got rid of a collection, they've got into something, got out of it, something like that. Now I'll go first because I got mine right. I can think right off the bat. Okay. Elle, my oldest daughter, was into wrestling figures for a while, and she was into pro wrestling as well. I went to a lot of great shows, and still some of my greatest wrestling fandom memories were when I was a little kid. But getting to take her to Chicago when we saw Raw, SmackDown, Survivor Series, and the NXT TakeOver War Games. We saw all those a couple of nights in a row. We had a lot of fun. We used to go to the show. She loved Bailey. She loved Bianca when she was coming into NXT. We had a lot of fun at those shows. And she used to collect wrestling figures. And I remember they had those like little girl wrestling figures that were kind of like Barbies. And they had the Barbie ones, but then the little ones, she had all of those. So that was a lot of fun. It was a short window in time, maybe a year or so, but man, it was awesome. I miss those days, but I'm sure they'll be back. I'm sure she'll be collecting figures again. She can just have mine down there. So these aren't mine anymore. They're L's. But that's the big one. Emma never really got into wrestling. She never enjoyed it.
Mm-mm.
So can you think of anything they collected or a fandom they got out of? I'm still waiting for this K-pop one to pass by.
Oh my God. That's going to hurt the wallet the most. But before that, the one that hurt the wallet the most was definitely their time on Roblox with the Adopt Me. Because we spent so much money on Roblox and having them build these animals. And then you get 4 animals neon. And then it becomes a blah, blah, blah. I don't even know.
I'm glad
it's come back.
I know. She's playing it again. But I'm glad I don't know how much of my money was spent on that. I don't want to know how many hours I was fighting with employees and making people cry so my kids could play that.
But I do miss the toys. I mean, any toy collections in general, like Shopkins and all that, they love.
Yep, they love the Shopkins. They loved a little Monster High for a little bit. Remember Squishmallows? A lot of viewers on the channel remember Squishmallows. They were all in on Squishmallows.
It's so funny. And Elle was obsessed with dinosaurs, and now she wants dinosaurs again. She's like, she's come full circle. Yeah, now she's back into Jurassic Park, which I like that because it's kind of action figures. So, but she wants all the little guys, all the toys.
It's expensive. That Hammond collection's expensive. Anybody got a hookup on the Hammond collection that help me out? Help me out a little bit.
They're so big too.
So we need these. My daughter needs these.
She's gonna need her own room.
Oh my gosh. Well,
oh my God.
We're gonna turn the master's room into the dinosaur room is what we're gonna end up doing. So,
but the K-pop, we'll never financially recover from all the K-pop.
Oh my gosh, never. All right, next one here. We got Josh Clinton, 31682. Speaking of Fig Fed for question of the week. Do you know what a Fig Fed is?
No, I don't think so.
Who did you push in your Fig Fed that may not have been a top guy on TV at the time? Any other Fig Fed thoughts are welcome as well. My biggest memories are the Hasbro days, Angie.
Oh, I knew you knew this.
I bet. Angie never played with figures or toys, but when I was a kid, I don't remember any that really stick out in LJN too much. But the Hasbro wrestling figures when I was a little kid, like guys like Skinner got a pretty good push. I don't know if he ever won the world title, but he did compete for that Intercontinental title quite often. One guy that was my world champion for a while was Smash from Demolition. I absolutely love the face paint. It's still to this day how it's red up here. As a little kid, I was never one of those maniac kids that would get a marker out and color on their figures.
But just like color on your face.
Yeah, no, I did that one time. Ultimate Warrior, my grandma's lipstick. Face. Grandma Mert, I put the lipstick into Warrior thing. Her nice lipstick when I was like 7 years old, maybe. Or maybe I was 17. I can't remember. It's confusing. There was a 7 in there. What 6, 7.
What is time?
But I used to use that, but Smash was the world champion for me for a while. So that was kind of weird. He was a tag team specialist, as you know fully well, Angela. But he became world champion. I remember I had Ted DiBiase, the first Hasbro, as a man. He was like smaller. Once I got that green one in the green suit, that was my Ted DiBiase. The other one was like a manager, just like an unknown manager. And he was always the heel manager for all these places. So he got a pretty big push, all things considered.
I'm so lost right now.
Yeah, you are. I'm trying to think if there was anybody else that made big moves. Big moves. Oh, one that I absolutely loved was a tag team championship. It was Rick Martel and the Warlord. And they were on a Survivor Series team. Once again, as you do remember once upon a time. They were a great tag team. And I kind of pretended they were Warlord and Rick Martel for me, but I always pretended they were Power and Glory with their moveset.
Me too.
Yeah, exactly. I pretended they did the Power and Glory moveset. So that was a big one for me once upon a time. So there you go. Angie, moving on here, Jonathan Hodap, longtime friend of the channel here. My question, this is very timely. My question is, since you have a glass of chocolate milk every night, what is your go-to brand? The best, worst, and just okay? Angie, let us know.
We got to do AE, baby.
Well, I can tell you right now, Mr. Beast and his thing is absolute hot garbage, so I'm not doing that. I do not like skim milk, 1% chocolate milk. I could drink the whole chocolate milk, but it's the 2% chocolate milk is what I do prefer. And it is a brand called AE. Now, I will tell you, as a CPG specialist, Angie, that's what I am. Did I tell you I'm one class away from this? No, not really. But as far as switching, so think of you going to the grocery store. There's a lot of things like, I'll get this steak, I'll get that steak, I'll get this can of soup, I'll get this can, whatever. The hardest things to get people to switch at a grocery store are your breads and your milks. You grew up with the kind of bread, that's the kind of bread you eat. Are you a maniac? That'd be interesting to know for people. Are you a maniac that will eat any kind of bread? Like, it doesn't matter the brand or anything. Like, every week you go kamikaze and get a different bread, whatever's on sale. That's a wild man. That's somebody that needs to be maybe locked up. Usually people have a consistent bread. Like, we have a white and wheat bread. Sara Lee butter bread, Sara Lee honey wheat. It's one of those.
Although we're sourdough honeys now.
Now she's moving over to the rustic sourdough. Can't get her off that. So we got that going on. But bread is very hard to switch, but also milk is very. You grew up tasting that milk. I've had AE milk my entire life, so when I think of milk, I do that. There's another brand around these parts called Roberts. It's okay, but I'm an AE guy, so I got to go AE 2% chocolate milk. I've tried like True Moo, hot garbage. I've tried the Roberts chocolate milk.
What's the fair one?
Fairlife. That's not even chocolate milk. It's like
I know, but that's what I like.
So there is Picket Fence Creamery. So like milk is very regional. There's not many full-ons, but there's one called Picket Fence. It's a little harder to find, but it comes in the glass jar, and you got to pay like a $6 deposit on it, which is ridiculous. But I'll tell you what, here's a pro tip. If you're drinking your chocolate milk, you don't drink it out of a plastic cup. You drink it out of a glass cup. I have like a clutch. Well, the clutch one broke. Oh, that was a hard day. But I have a Sam Adams and a Motorhead glass, and it's for alcohol, but I use it for chocolate milk every single night.
It's wild.
Chocolate milk tastes so much better out of glass. I don't know what it is, but you get it out of a plastic cup, it's not the same. I don't know what it is, and that's what I have to have.
Those Cokes out of a glass bottle, or
because of the real sugar, maybe, but that's what I have to. So AE is all I can really tolerate. I won't even really. I'll get something else to drink. So
that's just about how we used to travel with the kids when they were younger, and they were like you. They always needed chocolate milk to go to sleep, and they would never have the brand. And so we would try to find like some random, and it was always a bust. It was always our time.
And it's funny is I never drank chocolate milk. So when I was in elementary school, you used to get as many milks as you wanted to. I was always 2% guy. I would drink every lunch. I would get 4 2% milks. White milks, the white. A lot of kids got the chocolate. I never really liked chocolate. I especially hate chocolate skim milk. It's like chocolate flavored water. That's all they give them now, yeah. Yeah, so I never drank that. But then the kids started drinking chocolate milk, and somehow I tried it, and now I'm on this thing where every night before bed, I sit there, I look out into the stars, and we got the acres of fields out there.
Watch the dogs' diarrhea.
I do. I watch the dogs out there. And sometimes in like the summertime, I go out in the yard and I just, pee with the dogs out there in the backyard. I just do that. And I drink my chocolate milk and I stare off, and I always see UFOs up there. You notice that? I always see them. And then he's like, that's just an airplane. I'm like,
UAPs,
I don't know.
Or what are they called?
Yeah, UAPs. So anyways.
You got to hold it when you pee like that, or do you just go for
it? I don't. I drop it down to the ankles like a little kid. Just all the way down.
No, I mean, you got to hold your pee-pee, like, or you just...
That's what I'm saying. I just drop it, and then I just...
So it's like...
Yeah, it just goes. You're in the
You're
yard.
Like, you know how I'm hung.
Yeah, exactly. It just hits the floor like a hose. It's like a garden hose down there. It's just all spun around, and it's just...
Don't even need to water the grass.
No, it just kills it, unfortunately, but is what it is. All right, final question, Angie. Benjamin Tax Channel 1598. I thought I was going to say Benjamin Jackson, but Benjamin Tax Channel 1598. Both of you guys are great together. I've seen every episode of the podcast.
Oh, that's cute.
Would you say he's a real one?
He's a real one.
He's a real one. Mm-hmm. Kyle, from what you say, I think you have eosinophilic esophagitis. I didn't even pronounce that right.
Oh
I have the same thing.
Diagnosing you.
I have the same thing. A lot of chewing and drinking. You should probably see a gastroenterologist.
Yes, I've told you that before. That you need to get like a swallow test with the dye or whatever they do.
I'm over doctors. I'm over it all. But one of these days I'm going to choke and die, and it's going to be just a disaster. It's going to be really embarrassing at a restaurant.
Did you almost choke at our event?
I did. I did. That's why I gave up on the sandwich. There's too much bread here. And then they just had these little cups of water that you had to get. And I'm like...
Or iced tea. You need those bubbles to get those down.
And I'm drinking. I'm like having to go back and forth. I'm like, this isn't worth it. This isn't worth it. So that's what I did. But I've heard this a few times before that I've had stuff like this. So anyway. Also, while I'm here, I got a question for you and Angie. Have you ever seen the movie Airheads? Guy works at a Toys R Us, rock and roll, kinda, plus Lemmy is in it. Do you think I've ever seen the movie Airheads? You think I saw that in the theater when it came out? Of course I did. I know Airheads. Lemmy's God.
I've seen it. Oh my God.
Oh, it's got Adam Sandler, Steve Buscemi, Brendan Fraser. They take over a radio station. It's kind of like a Fulchi movie, but a little different. A little bit different. But they take over, and Lemmy's there, and he was the editor of his school paper. let me a real one. One of the greatest Motorhead songs ever, Born to Raise Hell, comes from that movie with Whitfield Crane of Ugly Kid Joe. If anybody knows Ugly Kid Joe, I love that. I love that movie. That's peak Kyle in like, I think I might have been in 6th or 7th grade when that came out. But that's peak. Of course, when you're that age back then, you were all into the Chris Farleys of the world and Saturday Night Live and the Adam Sandlers. And
I need to stir our meatballs. You need to wrap this up. I can smell it.
I'll give you a little meatball action. So there it is, Angie. That is the question of the week. If you would like to be the question of the week, put it in the comments down below or send it to the KylePetersonShow@gmail.com, and Angie will take quick work of that question. So leave it down below. But now, Angie, the time has come. So, Angie, what did we learn today?
Oh, God.
What did we learn today?
I need to start taking notes.
What did we learn? What did we talk about? Do you remember?
The food show.
Okay. Can you recap?
No.
Oh, and she's looking at my notes and they
can't read
flip.
it.
Well, now you really can't read it. What does this say?
Jerry Reed?
Jerry Reed.
It does
That's
not
what it
look
says.
like that. If I didn't know who Jerry Reed was, I would have.
We got a long way to go and a short time to get
here.
here.
It looks like Johnny Rod.
Johnny Rod, famous wrestler, trained Tommy Dreamer to wrestle. So, Angie, what did we learn today? I'm going to ask you again. We need to play a game where if Angie, you can do it it's like a would you rather say what we did or do a dare? We could do a dare. Dare you to do something, Angie.
I would take the dare.
You would not take the dare because you know where that would go. That would go south in a hurry.
I got nothing other than the Chips Ahoy. That's the only other thing I can think of.
We talked about Fulchi movies. We answered some questions. We briefly talked about the new Creator album out now. We talked about my friend Jimmy. He said, call me Jimmy, Kyle. He goes, don't call me Mr. Beast. It's weird.
Oh, my God.
And we talked about performance reviews and things like that nature.
Oh, yeah.
Angie's like,
you choking people out.
Choking people out. We talked about all kinds of fun stuff.
You choking in general.
Yes. So, good enough. Good enough. So there it is, Angie. Another week of the podcast. I don't know if anybody liked this episode. This one got very story time off centric. It was a wild one.
I kept distracting you.
She was distracting me. You weren't in too revealing of where this time, so that might hurt views. You know, people say that you get on there just for views. I'm like, no, she was just wearing that. Hair. She was just wearing that. But
just came straight from work.
She just came straight from work, the streets, the corner. There it is. All right, Angie, we've done enough. Of course, once again, leave your comments down below. Check out the Patreon. Check out the giveaways. Subscribe to the channel. Rate the podcast. Always helps when you give it a 5-star review. All that kind of fun stuff. Share the podcast. You guys know the drill by now. Now it's time for Angie to step up. Angie, in your own special way. Tell everybody goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, are we going to dance or are we going to play?
'Cause I'm a rocker